Hump Day! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I'm Jason C. It's Whiskey Wednesday night. We are live again. Man, the weeks are flying by. What is going on, everybody? Got a lot of stuff tonight to go through. A lot of fun conversation we should have, including San Francisco award winners. The official list hasn't really been released yet, but I found an article that actually listed some of the bourbon winners, which I thought was really interesting. There's some really weird. We'll go through the list. You'll see what's going on with that. Also, what the hell am I starting off with here? Well, last week, my Uncle Tony was here, and he was visiting. And I had got this bottle last year. This is the Sam Adams Utopia beer. They release this every year. It's a really old, well-aged beer, and all sorts of shit going on in each and every one. I told him I'd save it until I saw him again, because I hadn't seen him in over 2 years. My aunt as well, my Aunt Mary. So I hadn't seen either of them in over 2 years because of the pandemic, because they live in Florida. So we just never really got around to going there. They never came here. So I kind of opened this bottle with him, just to kind of, say, I don't know, just really good to see you. I saved this bottle. I haven't opened it yet. Let's try it. So we cracked it open, and I figured I'd go through it with you guys. I don't know if anyone has had this before. I know there's some, I think, 21090s in the chat. There were some pretty badass enthusiasts with beer, so I'm sure they know all about this. But I figured I'd go through it with you before we get into some other fun bottles, including this Jack Daniel's Sinatra, which I've been searching for a while. A good buddy of mine found this one, picked it up for me. I don't really see these anymore. I mean, maybe some of you do, but not around here. I got the new W.H. McBrayer dropped off to me by Bill McBrayer himself, so we'll go through that. Also, a fun sample that I totally forgot I had from Old Elk. This is a sample of their new double wheat that's going to be coming out. So we'll taste that tonight as well. This might be, I don't know. This is a Jefferson's. I grabbed it. Why? Because it's a double barrel rye whiskey. And we'll go through what that double barrel is. If I don't like this, this may be the last Jefferson's I buy, to be honest. Also, I know I'm a little late to the game on this, but I finally got myself one of the new early times that was picked up by Barton now, or Sazerac, I should say. So I want to do a comparison to the Old Forester version and see if there's any differences. I've seen some conflicting reports on them being different, not being different. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then giveaways. I'm giving away 4 friggin' bottles tonight, guys. 4 bottles. Any super chat will get you in the mix tonight. So, but first, before we get there, before the super chats start rolling in, let's say hi to everybody in the chat here. What is going on? I'll just run through some names here, guys. JG Blind Squirrel, Chris Abuzalencia, Brett Marquette's here, Steve Blome, Top Dog, Ham Turkey, John Farron, William Wiley. What's going on, buddy? Tim Cornet is here, Ian Knapp. Let's see, John Farron, Eric Desmarais is here. Dunny's in the house. What's going on, Dunny? Sugar Keaty's here. What's up, Sugar? Hey, Sugar. I sounded like such a country bumpkin doing that. Hey, Sugar. Jeffrey Whack Attack is here. What's going on, Jeffrey Whack? Let's see. Univ Poke is here. Terrence Scott, Mike Franklin, Senor Buck is in the house. Calvin Stull's in here. Whiskey Third. Richie Z, of course, the legend himself. What's going on, Richie Z? Fifth Quarter Tailgate's here. What's going on? Sandeep Chimas, nice to see you. Right on time. Adam Dorman in the house. What's going on, Adam? It has been too long. Haven't seen you in a while. Karen B. Ford is here. Nice to see you as well. Whiskey Mountains, Audriana. What's going on, Audriana? Apple Crow, is that a plumbus? A plumbus? Jason with a small UFO. Yeah, it is. It's kind of it's a terrible UFO noise. Sorry. I could do Kermit, but I can't do a fucking UFO. Jeffrey starting the week with some prune beer. Yeah, it's basically what it is. Donald Rance is here. Blanton's for the sweep. So, hey, Bill McBrayer's in the house. What's going on, Bill? Yeah, we'll be tasting your whiskey tonight, Bill. We'll be comparing it to last year's version. Pop 'em, don't watch 'em. My God, that's Sam Adams. Good old Uncle Tony. Yeah, seriously. I have an Uncle Tony and I have my cousin Vinny. I really couldn't be any more Italian than that, honestly. Emily Chambers, Butter, what's going on? And more people just popping in. Dungeons and Drams in the house. What's going on? Hey, everybody, best streamer in Whiskey Tube. Oh, dude, thank you so much, man. That's very nice of you to say. If anybody did not see the Dungeons and Drams episode yesterday, where the 4 characters in our Dungeons and Dragons saga, where we fought another friggin' moss monster and Bill tried to kill me again. Everyone, please give Dungeons and Dragons a subscribe. You actually should hang out. It's Tuesday nights. We go live around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. There's music, there's drama, there's a lot of comedy, and there's whiskey. So everyone, check it out if you haven't yet. Let's see here. Just a bunch of people coming in. Tim Evans is here. What's going on, man? Hey, James 44 is in here. Joseph Brazzers is here. Joseph Brazzers will be hanging out with us tomorrow night. I'll be live again, 8 o'clock tomorrow. I'll do a lot of live streams this week. Catching up for lost time, I guess. Picking our Woodinville pick, Woodinville bourbon pick for the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So because Joseph Brazos is such a Woodinville fanboy, he's going to be helping us. Nobody knows Woodinville better than him, except for probably the folks that make it. Saucy Shane's in the house. Kenneth Rathburn is here. And more folks. All right, so what the hell is this thing? Sam Adams Utopia. This is a 200 and, what was it, 200, 250? You correct me in the chat if I don't have that right, but it's an expensive beer. So this is the 2021, and this is why it's so expensive. It's a blend of multiple batches of our extreme beers held in reserve for years. In fact, some of the beer dates back nearly 3 decades. So we're talking about 30-year-old beer. We aged this beer in charred oak bourbon casks from Buffalo Trace. Oh my God, Buffalo Trace. That means it's freaking gonna flip it for millions. I'm only kidding. And then finish the blend in a combination of Carcavelos, Madeira, Ruby, Port, Scotch, and Sherry Oloroso barrels. So all of that in this bottle here. This year, for the first time, we also aged a portion of the blend in Sauterne French oak wine casks, which brings subtle notes of honey, apricot, and caramel to the rich layers of flavor. For this release, we aged the finished blend on cherries, including Balaton cherries, which are unique to Michigan. Balaton cherries are appreciated for their slightly sweet and tart taste. Holy crap. It's a lot going on in a beer. That's all I could say. So let's give it a try. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. It's Whiskey Wednesday. And out of all that shit that's in here, all I smell is cherries and raisins. Cherries and raisins. The proof on this thing, it is 28% alcohol by volume, 28% ABV. So 56 proof, which is pretty high for a beer. Cheers, guys. On the palate, this is like a open box of sun-made raisins, just like that fresh crack of sun-made raisins on the palate. Then it gets into those tart cherries. A lot of that cherry is there. It's hard to pick up all that other stuff that's going on, honestly. I could probably see the port, but like port, sherry, all these little things that intermingle with these really deep, rich, dark fruit flavors, they kind of all intermingle. I was hoping that Sauterne, that French oak, would give it a little bit of spice, but it is just so overly sweet. I mean, look at the color on this for a beer. It is, I mean, it looks like maple syrup in your glass. It's crazy dark. So, ADHD Whiskey's in the house. Happy hump day. What's up, you gorgeous man? Yeah, pretty high for a beer, but it doesn't taste that way. It comes off really soft, very fruity, extremely sweet. This is a very, very dangerous pour. You could probably whip through this, and then, you know, by the time you're halfway through the bottle, you like go blind because you don't realize how much alcohol's in here. It's crazy. The 70s disco version of Willet Pot Still. I like that. I do like the fact that it's kind of like a UFO, but it's got like this iridescent quality to it. So as you see, when the light hits it, it kind of turns purple along to go with the copper. The bottom has a nice little imprint from the Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams. Each bottle is numbered. This one is 08630, so you know it's limited edition. You guys remember that crazy dude on TV like years ago that used to sell baseball cards on TV? I forgot his name, but he would just basically scream at you on the TV and he'd be like, limited edition, people. It's limited. Get a rookie card. Get your Ken Griffey rookie card. Like he was nuts. I thought his head was going to explode like every single time I saw him. I can't remember his name though. Like back in the day when I was into like baseball cards and stuff, that dude would just freaking scream. Oh my God. I know you guys remember him. That's right. On your way in, guys. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely helps the videos. Sounds like Popham. Yeah, he kind of did sound like Popham. He was like basically like a friggin' wrestler. It was crazy. Hey, Scotty, my bourbon journey's in the house. What's going on, man? Sounds like the Knife Show guy. Yeah, very similar. His name, Don West. Thank you, Rob Sullivan. If you guys look up Don West on YouTube, I swear you could probably find some videos of him just screaming at the TV, telling you to buy, you know, some sort of sports memorabilia. He was crazy. All right, so I don't want to mix my drinks too much because that's when Jason gets a little bit. That's when Jason will fall on his ass when he starts mixing shit. So I'm going to put that away right there. And in the meantime, I am really anxious to try this new Old Elk. So Old Elk sent me the sample. So Old Elk, if anyone out there is watching, thank you so much. This is the double wheat. So this comes in at, oh man, that's tiny, 107.1 proof. So 107 going head to head with freaking Weller Antique, baby. The double wheat. It's a commercial sample. Unfortunately, I don't have any. It didn't come with a printout, nothing, no information. Just says double wheat. So I'm guessing this could be a blend of their wheat whiskey and maybe their wheated bourbon. That's what I'm gonna guess. So this isn't out yet, but figured why not? Let's get a sample pour to this stuff. Double wheat. Speaking of Weller Antique, I'm going to be giving away 4 bottles of whiskey tonight. So 4 bottles of whiskey, stuff I just had laying around. I don't need any more. The first bottle, speaking of Weller Antique, I'll be giving away a bottle of Weller Antique tonight. I'll be giving away a bottle of Rare Breed Rye tonight. I'll also be giving away a bottle of the 3 Sagamigos Sagamore Spirit Rye Whiskey that that people have been raving about. I have an extra bottle of this one. I don't need any more. The 3 Sagamigos from the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, selected by myself, Scott, and Dan, the man Trout. And another Mash and Journey pick, the High West Grape Ape, which is American Prairie bourbon finished in brandy barrels. So all these up for grabs tonight. Any super chat will get you in the mix. Whiskey Mountains, Adriana, or if any of the mods are not busy, can you please keep track of names for me as we give away? So 4 lucky people will win one of these bottles tonight. So good luck tonight. So all these bottles are up for grabs. All righty. All right, double wheat. All right. Nerd alert. What's up, Trev? Hey, Trev, let's do something next week on the channel. If you want to come on, let me know. Jason Busey, those are all hitters. Yes, they are. All of them are hitters. Did nothing but hitters tonight. Jason Busey's in the mix. Robotic is in the mix. Well, let's get this fiesta started. Love it. Senor Buck is here. That Rare Breed Rye is so damn good. So yeah, all 4 of those are up for grabs tonight. I'm telling you, the 2 picks, obviously I love those picks because we picked them, but they're really, anybody in the chat will tell you if they've gotten their hands on the 3 Sagamigos, what a fucking good rye that is. So Count me in, says JG. Mike Franklin, thanks for the entertainment. Anytime. Tom Flanagan says, I'm in. Damn it, my wife is tracking now. I can't enter. My wife is tracking now. Bourbon Wrench, 100%. See you next week, the Mash and Drum. Let's do it, man. We'll figure something out. All right. So far on the nose, I'm digging this Old Elk. Darrell Stewart, $20. Wait, did I hear giveaway? I just picked up bottles today that I don't have any room for. May I add 3 more bottles? Darrell Stewart, your Darrell Stewart just had a brand new baby son, so congrats to him. And he wants to add 3 more bottles to the mix. Darrell, shoot me a text. Don't tell everybody what they are, but shoot me a message on my phone, and I will get them down. So we're gonna add 3 more bottles to the mix. So that is 7 bottles we'll be giving away tonight. Perfect. Let's see. Mash and Drum. Is this a $5 entry? Any entry will do. Audriana. We'll just open it up. $5 would be great. It is a good amount of bottles, but if you just want to donate $2, you could still let them in. It's all good. William Wiley. I missed that High West when I was on vacation in Boston. Would like a shot at that one. There you go, William Wiley. Michael Doyle in the house. Thank you so much. I'll take one, says Tim Cornet. Alan Ivers, thank you so much, man. Thanks for the content. I'm excited to hear if the Sinatra is worth it. Yeah, me too. It's one of those bottles I had yet to track down and try. So, all right. I mean, it's very weedy. I don't know if there's a better explanation. If you've had a very heavy weeded bourbon smell, or have ever tried a heavily weeded profile, that's what this is. You definitely get the wheat. It's a little bit floral, but it's also very fruit forward. Little BB Jesus, Susan Robinson, Whiskey Nose in the house. Love helping out these new channels. Thank you so much, Marty. I really appreciate the support. I gotta love Marty. Yes, Richie Z. Let me throw that up there. Jason Busey is in the Dream Chopper contest. You could vote for him to help him get a custom chopper built by Paul Tuttle Sr. And the reason why I want him to win is because he's going to come here to Ohio, or I'm going to go see him in Texas, and I get to ride bitch on the back of his bike. And it's going to be glorious. Brett Marquez says, I sent you a Facebook message with a double wheat label. All right, let's check it out. Let's see here. Oh, Darrell Stewart giving away some good stuff. Okay, here's a double wheat label. A select blend of our gold-winning weeded straight bourbon whiskey and straight. That's what I said. It's a blend of the straight bourbon and the straight wheat whiskey. Perfect. 71.5% wheat, 25% corn, 3.5% barley. The whiskey age. So the wheated bourbon in this blend is 6 years old. The wheat whiskey in this blend is 6, 7, and 8 year old. So that's what makes it double wheat. All right. Sugar Kitty, 7 bottles. Stay vertical. That's right. Great giveaway on the slab. Absolutely love the content. Be a member, Mash and Journey. You guys rock. Thanks so much, Blind Squirrel. Appreciate it, Aaron Williams. Whiskey Wednesday. I'm glad you guys look forward to it. I do too. I actually get a little bit of apricot in here. There's a nice, like a stone fruit influence. Little apricot. Again, I'm getting that floral quality from the wheated bourbon and the wheat whiskey. It's very sweet. I mean, just a lot of intense vanilla here. Hello from Texas. Enjoy the channel. Thanks for what you do. Appreciate that, Kyle. Thank you, Eric, as well. Always room for another bottle on the shelf. Always, man. All right. All right, let's give it a try. This smells really good, so let's give it a go. Oh, yes. Ooh. friggin' Greg Metz over at Old Elk. That's good. This has apricot, peach, strawberry. It's very fruit forward to me. But it doesn't finish like a traditional wheater. It's got a little bit of that spice to it, which keeps it interesting, keeps things, a little fun. Matt Smith, you're in it to win it. Hope you do another bottle design bracket. That was a lot of fun. Andrew Patrick. Yeah, I've gotten some requests to do that again, but using some older design bottles. So I think we'll do that at some point. I have to build my bracket for that. So that'll be fun. Did someone say giveaway? 5th quarter tailgate, you're in. Yeah, apricot, a little maybe hint of raspberry here, black pepper, little spice, maybe the slightest hint of like a allspice or cinnamon, but not super prevalent. It's on the younger side, so you're not going to have those rich notes that you'll get with like a heavy barrel char. Yeah, wheat whiskey is interesting. I mean, we picked one last year, Scott and I. We picked a wheat whiskey. We call it the cannoli because it was very sweet, very vanilla heavy, almost like a pastry-like aspect to it. You get some of that here, but I think the blend has brought out a lot of fruit flavors. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, man. C-Bus. Ride safely, Jason. See you back. That's a damn good bottle. I picked one up at the release tasting event, Old Elk Tasting Room last month. Yeah, Thunder Dan, I am digging this. Cody Lee says, loving this Peerless Rye. Isn't that freaking good? That Peerless, our Strawberry Grooves is so good. You should send A-Rod your hat, Jason. No, fuck that guy. I don't like A-Rod. He can't have my hat. Finally cracked the Westland pick. Delicious. Appreciate you and the content. AC Jones MD. The Westland pick. Yeah, how good is that thing, man? That to me is what did I describe that? It's just like chocolate covered pineapple in a glass for our Westland pick that we did. It's so delicious. This is really good, guys. If you guys are a fan of wheaters and you like more fruit-forward profiles on your bourbon, if you get Old Elk in your area, this double wheat is where it's at. The 107 proof, shit. I mean, in some ways, I'm kind of. It's not as sweet as Weller Antique, but it does provide like a good. It's got a longer finish than Weller Antique, I'll tell you that, because the finish is still going. Man, Top Dog Sour Johnson, thank you so much. But is it 90? Oh, it's $99. $99. Mr. Jigs, $20. I mean, the Old Elk stuff is usually on the higher side anyway. But you know what? I trust in Greg Metz. And if I'm going to spend money on an interesting wheater like this, I mean, I'd buy it for $100. I mean, it's really good. There are some other wheaters out there that, you could say could go head to head with this. I mean, you do have Weller Antique. You have some other wheaters that are available, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, even Wilderness Trail, the Wilderness Trail single barrels that I love, I actually think don't have this much finish to it. I would have to compare. I'm going to have to do a comparison with Old Elk versus Antique and Wilderness Trail stuff, and we'll see how it goes. But this is friggin' delicious. I'm digging it. It may be because it's my first bourbon of the night that it's just making a good impression on me. But and it's true, there's times I've been critical of Old Elk. I don't love everything, and something like the Infinity blend that they released, I thought that was way too overpriced for what you got. Really didn't recommend that one. This is good. I'd be interested to try a full bottle of that. Nothing wrong with those bottles. Geeter Dunn says, Dunny, figured what the heck, I have a better chance of this than the Dirty Birds do make the playoffs. That's just a low blow, Travis. Hey, listen, the Dirty Birds are rebuilding. All right, they're getting some very weird pieces in the offseason, and we'll see what happens. You know, you get the right mix of guys together, you never know. They can make some noise. Well, are they winning a Super Bowl? No, but you never know. Enjoy the Blood Oath video. Hoping to find some soon in Georgia. Yeah, the Blood Oath, I really liked it. I don't think it's going to be everyone's flavor profile because it does have that apple forwardness to it. But yeah, it's like one of those things where it's the finish on that for a 98.6 proof bourbon is really what won me over. It's really spicy, and I think you get it from the Calvados cask. That French oak just gave it the right amount of finish and spice on the very end of it. I think it's probably one of the more interesting ones of the last several years that they've released Blood Oaths, to be honest. I wish that finish was on the cognac one, because I thought that would have been stellar, because I love the cognac one from 2 years ago, the 2020. If that finish was on that might have been my favorite of all time. I still think my favorite of all time, though, was number 4, which was I think that was a double oaked one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that Blood Oath Pack 4, I think, still might be my favorite of all time. What's up, Tim? Thank you so much. 311 in the chat. 21090s in the house. What's going on, man? Chris Garza, thank you so much. Blood Oath will hit Chattanooga for $250. Yeah, $250. No way. I would not pay more than retail for it. I think at retail, $120, the Blood Oath is still a good value, because remember, it's 14, 11, and 8-year-old bourbons in that blend. Now, you don't really know the percentages. You don't know how much 14, but judging the way it tasted, I feel like there was a good amount of older bourbon in there, because it was kind of overtaking the apple. Adam, did someone say JD Sinatra going to have to break it out? We'd love to try the Sinatra Century release sometime. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, buddy. I really haven't seen that one yet. All right. Yeah, tried 4 to 7 last year. 4 was my favorite. Partially toasted finish. The 4, when toasted, wasn't even like a thing yet. All right. What should we try now? You know what? Let's go to the McBrayer. The W.H. McBrayer. Now, W.H. McBrayer has a long storied history. He is the descendant of Dixon Dedman and his family. Also, W.H. McBrayer had something to do with Wild Turkey. His name and his legacy goes back a long way into the different connections throughout whiskey history. Bill McBrayer, who's in the chat, who we saw him before, he was kind enough to drop this bottle off to compare to last year's release. Unfortunately, this bottle, to get your hands on these, you have to become a part of the W.H. McBrayer online club, and then you can get access to these when they release. So this is a different blend than last year's. A little bit older whiskey, one of the younger ones that were used last year, all blended together, blended by Dixon Dedman himself. Why not have Dixon Dedman, a part of this whiskey? So that dude knows how to friggin' blend. So let's give it a try. All right. Give some of that good juice. Cheers, everyone. Jeff Little in the house. Awesome. Okay. So let's crack this open here. America. That's from my buddy ADHD Whiskey. Ooh, heavy pour. So we have a new box design from last year. So here's last year's design. And then this is this year's design. So box is a little bit different. They have this nice new strip on the bottom there. So you guys can see the differences there. I love when my camera focuses up nice and neat. So this kind of, you have some more details that kind of wrap around on the new bottle with some handwritten lettering. So 100 proof on this one, guys. This is batch 2, only 1,300 of these, so not a lot of them. So any of the mods, if you want, if you can drop the McBrayer Whiskey Club link in the chat, if anybody wants to sign up, go for it to get your shot at one of these. Actually, well, I have the old one out too. Let's do a quick comparison. Now, what I loved about this one last year, thanks, Karina, appreciate it. Which one is better, double wheat or infinity blend? I like the double wheat, honestly, over the infinity blend so far. Big Vic. The infinity blend just kind of finished too soft for me, but maybe that was the idea, just to get like an easy sip in whiskey. But yeah, I dig the spice of the double wheat, to be honest. All right, so we have the two McBrayers, batch 1 versus batch 2. Let's give it a go here. So this is batch 1. And man, batch 1 had that. I equated this, I called this bottle the modern Dusty, because it has like that old butterscotchy, dusty corn type of note to it, all over the nose on this one. Now, with some older whiskey in the new one, let's try this one here. There you go, the McBrayer Legacy Spirits Club. There it is, guys. If you want to join, get your hands on one of these. It's a really cool bottle. I do like it. Now, I do think there's some different blends going on. We have to see how these bottles evolve, but so far from what I've tasted, I do like what Dixon Dedman's doing with the blends of these. It's kind of an under the radar brand right now, but they're going to continue to keep bringing out some new batches as much as they can. You know, it's a new startup. So what's also good about these guys is they're working with some great distillers to make their own mashes. This isn't just sourced stuff. This is, I mean, it's sourced, but it's being distilled fresh from distilleries to make these. So we're not just looking at another MGP or another Barton. It's all new make that's been aged over time. So the new one, so batch 2 doesn't have as heavy of a butterscotch note. So I'm missing that a little bit on batch 2. It's got a little bit more oak, a little bit more cherry too. I'm getting a slight cherry note. Man, you really get the rye spice coming through in here too a little bit. Yeah, this one is more fruit forward, more cherry, dark fruit, a little bit on the oakier side as well. A lot of vanilla too. And there's like a burnt toffee note that I'm getting here as well, which is kind of nice. Shane McFuller, I've never seen an early times bottle and bond in the stores. I live in California. I did pick up a Cooper's Craft from the interwebs. How does it compare? If it's the Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve, Shane, I think it's a pretty different flavor profile, but I have to go through these new. We're going to do this one next. We're going to hit up the new early times and see how they compare to the old one. All right, so I'm going to try the new one here. Cherry up front, a little bit of an apricot note as well on the front of the palate. As soon as it hits back, nice spicy finish. The little bit of that burnt toffee, buttery note I'm getting on the very end of this. Let's compare it to number 1. So number 1 is similar on the finish, but it's got more of a buttery butterscotch note to it. Honestly, I might lean towards 1, but 2 with that oakier finish and a little bit more of the cherry might be, it's more of like a modern take, I think, where this was the modern Dusty. This is leaning towards more modern today type bourbon. I'll say this. And Bill, I think I told you this when I saw you. If you could somehow get a little bit of this into this, you'll have a friggin' crazy, delicious bourbon on your hands. But right now, this being a little bit more cherry forward, more fruit forward with that spice, man, Dixon Dedman just freaking flat out knows how to blend, man. Yeah, a lot of fruit, a lot of spice. It's really good. I would say this: if you guys haven't yet, definitely sign up for the McBrayer Legacy Spirits. I really think it's good. Yeah, McBrayer's giving me the thumbs up. I think that's what they're going to try to work on. Jonathan's hoping to win that SAG. Darrell Stewart, check your PM when you can. I will do. As far as the old early times Balm, I think it's very close to the player profile of JTS Brown and old Bartstown Balm. Yeah, Rebecca, I could see that a little bit for sure. Thanks for coming in. John Ferring, cheers on that old elk. The Master Drum, you have a Chattanooga hat and a 4-gate shirt. Please tell me you have an Elijah Craig jacket and a Wild Turkey cape to complete the look. I know, I just mix up brands. I have a Jack Daniels hoodie. I got a Fighting Cock bourbon hat. I got, I have my old Carter shirts. I have a Michter. Yeah, I got all the gear. I got all the gear I need. I need more Wild Turkey gear. That's for sure. The last time I went to Wild Turkey, I was like set on getting a bunch of shirts and all this stuff, and then the gift shop was closed because they're remodeling it. Yep, that'll be my Halloween costume. I'm just gonna be all the brands. Blend to get an entry. First time here live for Susan Robinson. Thank you so much, Susan. I have a Knob Creek hat. That's all the gear I need to Whiskey Mountains. That is not that does not surprise me, Adriana. All right, so Bill McBride, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna blend to get in this shit right now. So we're gonna use this one as the base because it has a little bit heavier oak. Then we're gonna put on my best Dixon Dedman impression. I want to get a little bit more of that butterscotch into number 2 here and see what that does. It did. It actually gave it a little bit more butterscotch. Oh, man. That's all I need to do right there. If you go, I think, about 60-40 of this bill, that's what you're looking for, man. You get the butterscotch of this with the spice of this, the fruit, the little bit of cherry. Shit. Oh, my God. That's a blend to get in winner right there. Dixon Dedman. Just make that. Maybe a little bit higher proof, though. A little bit higher proof, a little bit more spice on that. Holy shit. There it is. Oh, dude, I could drink that all night. That's crazy. Burnt toffee, butterscotch, cherry apricot, spice, lingering finish. Dude, nailed it. Bill McBrayer said you're hired. That's all I need. Just I'm not blending with Dixon Dedman, that's for sure. That dude knows how to blend. I'm just saying, like a little bit of that butterscotch note in this one. Woo, that's good shit. Jeffrey Wack enjoying a pour of the Boone County Toasted Cask. Oh, how is that, Jeff? That any good? Haven't caught a live in a while. Good stuff here. Thanks. Awesome. Thanks for coming in, JR SVT. 21090. Jason, what was your pick last night for the Nashville Barrel Rye? I missed the end. So we picked the 9-year number 2. Or was it 9-year number 1? I don't know. We picked one of the 9-year ryes. We basically picked the one that tasted like Dr. Pepper because it was so unique and so delicious. Our Nashville bourbon and the Nashville rye picks are two of the most, I would say, impressive whiskeys I've had in a long time, just because the Nashville Barrel Company 5-year that we selected never would have thought in a million years that was a 5-year-old bourbon. And I've heard that a lot about the 5 years. And honestly, I think they're just aging them in a different place than where the 9 years are, because the 9 years were lighter, not as flavorful as the 5-year-old bourbons that we tried them. Now, the 9-year ryes that we tasted were far better than the 6 years. We were getting close to the first 6 year that we tried was in the mix. But that other 9-year that we tried that had like this Dr. Pepper, Swedish fish, it tasted like cherry Dr. Pepper. It was just one of the craziest ryes we have ever tasted. It's going to be pricey, unfortunately, but we had to grab it for the patrons because I think to get something that unique we couldn't say no to it. So those are going to be the 2 picks. Yeah, dude. Yeah, totally. It's going to be pricey, but amazing. All right. Cheers to McBrayer. Thanks, Bill, for dropping that off. I will be sharing that, and I'm going to try to play with that blend and see if I can get it like just perfect. So, yeah, smells good, man. Okay. Before we get into the early times, let's go to the TTB. All right, it is that time of the night where we look at some labels. We don't have a ton of labels to go through, but some interesting things showing up on the TTB. I love to follow Coming Whiskey on Instagram. If you guys do not follow Coming Whiskey, please do. The dude just trolls the TTB and pulls off labels that are coming through in the realm of bourbon and whiskey. He does all the work, and I just kind of steal it and move it to you. But so Coming Whiskey, I really appreciate your hard work. So let's talk about a couple of new releases coming out, including one that looked pretty interesting. And here we go. Woodford Reserve is now, what did we just talk about last week? We talked about all these honey cask finishes. And here's another one. Woodford Reserve getting in the mix. 90.4 proof, like always. A blend of Woodford Reserve bourbon whiskey finished in honey barrels and straight Woodford Reserve bourbon whiskey. So it's using new and used bourbon barrels for this release, including honey barrel finish. So these are going to be those smaller bottles, the 375 milliliters, that are usually only available in the at the distillery. So we probably won't see these in stores. But if for all of you that are Woodford Reserve fans and frequent the distillery, you might have a good shot of getting one of these if you're into those honey finishes. Next up, Foregate is coming out with the next version of their Andalusia Key. So Andalusia Key goes all the way back. I think it was their 3rd or 4th release, if I remember correctly. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in Spanish Oloroso sherry dark rum casks. Now, this one just sounds really delicious. It's sherry, it's dark rum, 7 years, 6 months old. Here is the label, batch number 28, Andalusia Key 2. They're calling it 119.8 proof. As in a true Foregate fashion, we're probably looking at a $200 bottle. So really depends on if you like the sherry dark rum characteristic. I do. Hopefully be tasting that one real soon. Another pretty big brand. Well, I wouldn't say big brand, but another brand getting into the toasted game. Yellowstone. Yellowstone is coming out with their limited edition toasted barrel release, 100 proof, toasted barrel goodness. These will be single barrels, which is kind of cool. Which kind of makes it a little bit more, I guess, collector worthy. I'm not sure if that's for position only, where it says there on the bottom, barrel 3 of 8. So I don't know if they're just releasing 8 barrels worth of these toasted single barrels or not, or if there'll be more. But Kentucky straight bourbon finished, whiskey finished in toasted casks. So that should be interesting. Yellowstone, I think, has a very interesting flavor profile. It could go sometimes very Beam-like. It is the same. Remember, you do have Stephen Beam, who's the distiller there. So they're using the same mash bill, but it's a much, much smaller operation. They have a little bit more of a unique flavor profile at Yellowstone. It'll be interesting to see that profile with the toast on it. We'll see how that is. Next one up. I forgot this one. It's another Foregate. These are the toasted oak casks by Kelvin Cooperage. Now, these are single barrel selections that you will start to see from whiskey clubs, stores within Louisville. I think Tennessee will get a few as well. But Foregate's coming out with some of these toasted casks. Myself and Scott from the Match and Journey Whiskey Club, we are very lucky this year to be getting 2. We're getting 2 Foregates, a 9-year toasted MGP rye, and then a 10-year MGP toasted bourbon, both cask strength, coming to the Match and Journey Whiskey Club probably in the next month and a half, 2 months. I think Scott and I made our selections, but now they are sitting in the barrel being toasted for about 30-ish days. They don't like to go higher than that. and I'm kind of glad they don't go higher than that. So something to look forward to there. For all of you, I know 21090s watching this one, but for all of you folks out in Maryland, Sagamore Spirit Distillery exclusive bottle, Monk Mead Cask Aged Rye. So this is a blend of straight rye whiskeys, aged 1 year and 10 months in a Monk Mead barrel. So, I mean, honey, a lot of citrus usually comes from a mead cask, and it looks like that's what we're going to get here with the straight rye whiskey. Notes of honeycomb, lemon, fresh florals with a rye spice to finish, using made using a barrel from Orchid Cellar Meadery and Winery. So you see the Orchid Cellar logo on the bottom right of that label. That's who they're working with. I love when distilleries do unique partnerships within their own community, stuff that's local to make something unique. This, unfortunately, is a distillery exclusive. So if you live in Maryland, that could be something pretty damn delicious. Something that's sweet with a rye finish, that could be a nice contrast. So if anyone's in Maryland and gets that, let me know. I want to try it. I will trade samples. Just saying. And lastly, a new bourbon or new whiskey brand that you guys should be keeping an eye out for is Redline. Redline is they're sourcing whiskeys, but they're doing a lot of unique finishes with it. I mean, this is what a lot of folks are doing, guys. I know it's hard to keep up with all this stuff, but these are hand-selected single barrels, experimental cask series. You'll see throughout all of these. This one is finished in vanilla brandy casks. This one is finished in XO cognac casks. We've seen cognac a lot before. This one is finished in Barbados rum casks. This one finished in maple syrup X bourbon barrels. That one sounds really sweet. And lastly here, finished in French oak apple brandy casks. So Redline that's where actually Scott and I are doing our honey finished bourbon through. But you see they're working and doing a lot of different casks. Redline, I don't know how widespread their distribution is, but it's a new brand that I saw in Kentucky, and I saw all these different labels popping up with all these finishes they're doing. So if you guys are interested in some finished whiskeys, I mean, let me know in the chat. Are you guys just like over the finishes, or is this really what's keeping whiskey interesting? Is it overkill? Is it just keeping things more interesting for everyone? I think it's getting more people into whiskey. I think finishing and doing all these exotic finishes in whiskey is a way to keep things moving forward. But I think the problem that I have is, like, once one person figures out the right way to do honey, then kind of everybody does it. That's what happened with toast. And then everybody did a toast. Cognac, and everybody's got a cognac. It just kind of comes in waves. Like every time we get a popular finish, then everybody kind of follows suit. It's exciting when we get a new finish to see how it is. But, I think it takes a long time, or it takes some ingenuity and some an inventive mindset for a distillery or a new distillery to work on bringing new products to folks to get eyes on their label. And unfortunately, with so much competition with just straight bourbon whiskey out there, it's hard to stand out because there's so much out there. So how do you make yourself stand out more? It's with finishes. Finishes, double barrels, double oaks, toasts, cognac, rum, whatever it may be. This is mead, as we just saw. This is the way that producers are able to get eyes on their products. And yeah, I do think in part it's overkill, but and the market is just getting oversaturated with different finishes. But at the same time, it's not really stopping anyone from buying them because they want to try a new finish. So I'll see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Finished whiskeys are interesting. Starlight goes nuts with them. Totally agree. The Starlight Cigar Bass finish in Brazilian and Burana barrels may be the best whiskey we tried so far this year. Yeah, total apple cinnamon bomb, 21090. That thing was like drinking an apple candle. Sunday evening scotch. I love finished. I also love straight bourbons and ryes. I like the creativity and interesting profiles from finished stuff. Still, will never stop drinking straight bourbons, ryes. I think that's where I'm at, Mike. I totally agree. Exotic finishing, it's cool at first, but it gets played really quick. I think it depends, like you said, like I said earlier, how many come out after someone figures out, that this is an interesting finish for folks. Finished whiskeys gets the rookies by the throat. Yeah, and I agree, Whiskey Reaper. I think it's a good way to bring new drinkers into the market as well. I see more women drinking whiskeys now, and most of them are usually finished. It's a great way to kind of introduce them in the category if they want to try a brandy, a cognac, a rum, something a little bit sweeter, not just a straight whiskey flavor profile. Sarah says, I'm not over finished yet. They've been fun and appreciate the constant differentiation and creativity. Totally. The peanut butter run didn't last long. Yeah, that's true. The peanut butter, well, that's more of a liqueur, but I see what you're saying. Give me a single or double barrel, skip the finishes, says Ben Thirsty. Finishes are keeping it interesting, taking notes from Scotch industry. Also, you need to seek out King's Family Silly out of Tennessee. Their rye conic is wonderful. Thanks, Travis. I'll keep an eye out for that. Finished, that's freaking dessert whiskey, straight fat kid pour, and I love it. Though the maple might be a bit much, then again, maple bacon. Bourbon for bacon, yeah, he's going to probably pour that on his bacon. Who won best bourbon? We don't really know quite yet, but I'm about to go through the list of who got double gold at San Francisco. It's a very wonky list. Love that word, wonky. I'm all for it, experimenting way. The ones that get it right will stay. That said, it makes me appreciate the standard stuff even more when they stand out among the finished crowd. It's a good point, Robotic. Michael Dow says, I like some finished stuff. Bottom line, traditional stuff is the place I land. Okay. Trends become exhausting and need experts like you to help us differentiate and select the best finishes. Well, that's the thing, though. Finishes, I mean, they're different for a lot of people. Some people love heavy finishes where you get a huge punch of like either rum or Oloroso sherry or whatever it may be. For me, I still like the backbone of the original whiskey to be intact. I don't always love the finish to overtake the backbone of the whiskey. I still want to be able to taste that bourbon or that rye that's in it. I don't want it to be completely enveloped by whatever the finish is. But that's me. Some people like it to be enveloped and want to taste as much of the finish as possible. But I also think there's a time when people don't finish it enough. They don't let it sit in the cask enough. So I have a pretty, I guess, I'm a tough judge when it comes to that stuff. I'll just say that. Running late tonight, says Josh L. Hey, cheers, man. Thanks for coming in. Nancy Fraley is who won. Let's see. It depends on the finishing, how they do, but my stables are always straight bourbons and ryes. Yep, totally get it. All these finished products, no one's thinking to do a toasted sherry or toasted and sherry finished rye. And yeah, I'm fatigued over the finishes. Kenneth, actually, well, then it's not a toasted rye, but New Riff just released their malted rye that's finished in Oloroso, which I'm very eager to try. I've heard it's pretty damn delicious. I'll be happy to see big brands to take on the finished products. Jim Beam, Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace. Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of those. And it's funny because the big brands, when they do a finish, they tend to get a lot of publicity, a lot of chasing after it, when the small brands have already done tons of them already. So it's hard for me to get excited about a finish from a big distillery because 9 times out of 10, they're not that much better than stuff I've had from either Starlight or Nulu or Foregate or Chattanooga or anybody else doing finishes out there. It's just, it's tough. Let's see. Late to the show. Cheers, everyone. Says the Bourbon Engineers in the house. What's going on? Nice to see you here. Fancy Frenchy. A really good finished whiskey. Some of them can be really delicious. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bartstown Chateau de la Bude, Scooby-Doo, whatever we want to call it. That might be the best finished whiskey ever created by I would put that, and speaking of Nancy Fraley, some of her cigar blend batches, probably some of the best finished whiskeys you'll ever taste. Hands down. Wade Ward, I was hoping I would have that bottle tonight, but it looks like it's coming tomorrow. So I should have the Founders next week to try with you guys. Or I might just do a full video on it. We'll see. Big brand release like Thomas More. Yeah, and the Thomas Moores for me, three perfect letters. Meh, they were okay. None of them really stood out. Were worth $100. I'd rather pay 50 or 60 bucks for a Starlight finish, honestly. Oh my God, Labatt is top tier. One of my absolute favorite whiskeys ever, period. Full stop. Yep, hands down. I happen, DC says false. Dickel Tabasco for the win. That might be. Hey, as long as it's the Dick Burns edition, DC, you're on to something, buddy. D City Girl, real talk. That's right. Nice to see you, D City Girl. Go Hurricanes. Are my Rangers losing right now? Are my Rangers losing already? Son of a bitch. What's happening in the games here? Calgary Flames are up 2-0. The Warriors are up on the Mavs. Hurricanes won in overtime. Son of a bitch. I love my Rangers. Jesus. Okay. Good game. Good. Plenty of hockey left. The way it's going, plenty of hockey left. My Metsies are up 6-2 on the Cardinals, though. So my Mets are kicking ass. But what do I say always? I'm not excited yet because the Mets need to get past friggin' they need to get past the damn All-Star break before I get excited. But they are playing good. Okay. Early Times. If you guys do not know the story, Early Times in the beginning was owned by Brown-Forman. Early Times was distilled by Old Forester. A little bit different of a mash bill than traditional Old Forester. This brand was sold to none other than Sazerac. Apparently, that got moved over to the Barton Distillery, where it's now being made. It's hard to tell exactly where the transition happened, but if you look at the backs of the bottles, there are different DSP Kentucky numbers. So DSP 354414 is different than 354 and 12. This is, you can also see a different bit of a bottle design difference. This is the old bottle from distilled by Old Forester. And then this one you have, or Early Times Distillery, I should say, even though it was distilled by Old Forester. Then you have the new bottle that's being distilled by Barton. So a little bit different here. Bottle shape. This one, the one from Barton's a little bit taller. The Sazerac one, I should say. People wondering if there's a big flavor difference. I've seen some videos. I think I saw the Bourbon Junkies do a video, a couple other channels. I haven't been able to get my hands on one of these. They've been selling fast whenever they hit Ohio. So finally, I got one, and let's do a quick comparison. Drink and good entertainment. Thanks, Mark Mace. After this, I think we're gonna dive into the Sinatra. Oh, actually, no. I want to do this Jefferson's first to see if it's going to be the last Jefferson's I ever buy. So, hey, William Davilar, what's going on, man? Absolutely, maybe one day. Appreciate it. Got 400 people in the chat. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. While I'm going to let this one open up a little bit, let's talk about the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Now, San Francisco Spirits Competition, love it or hate it, moves the needle in whiskey. It'll take a unknown brand, make it big. It'll take a brand we already love and make it unattainable. Henry McKenna. It seems to happen every year. For whatever reason, San Francisco, out of all the Spirit Awards that we see, San Francisco tends to be the one that really moves the needle. I think now Fred Minnick has his own awards, the Ascot Awards that he runs, and I think that could end up being just as impactful as San Francisco at some point. But right now, San Francisco is the one that everybody keeps their eyes on. There's so many judges, so many whiskeys. The entries are extremely varied. There's a lot of categories, but most folks pay attention to who won in bourbon. Now you have the infamous double gold, where it seems like everybody gets a double gold. Uprocks, I think, listed the double gold bourbon winners, and there's some interesting choices in that list that we're about to run through. Water, everybody drink. Let's see here. Saucy Shane says we got some Sinatras in today. Don't think I could pull the trigger on that one. Well, we're gonna try it out. I've never had it. ADHD Whiskey says you move my needle. Right back at you, sexy. you move my needle. I want to hear ADHD Whiskey say that in a review. Just staring at a bottle he loves, just saying, "You move my needle," with that sexy voice he has. Michael S., your Mets are coming into San Francisco next week to play my Giants. I may try to sneak into the city and catch a game. Salante va. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I'm actually going to go see July 4th. I'm going to be in Cincinnati. Me and my girlfriend are going to be heading down to see the Mets game the week right before my birthday. My birthday is July 9th. I'm actually going to be going to Vegas for work on July 9th, which kind of sucks. But July 4th, the day July 4th, will be at the Cincinnati Reds watching my Mets. I'll be decked out in Mets gear at Cincinnati Reds, Great American Ballpark. So it should be a fun night. See some fireworks. It'll be good. Scott JG's enjoying the Grape Ape. Awesome, man. That's what she said. Not when Coy Hill and JD Rye 2020 was $70. Okay. Off topic, but Glenfiddich 14 aged in bourbon barrels is also a great bottle. Kevin, that's one of the bottles that I get bourbon drinkers latched on to Scotch with. So, Mets versus Reds, I guarantee you'll win at the Mashanddrum. Never say guarantee. You never know. How old you turning, birthday twin? I'm turning the big 45 this year. 45 years old. 45 years friggin' old. I'll be turning this year. So, yeah, halfway to 50. Fuck me. Oh, that hurts my soul to say 45, but wow. Yep, 45 years old. Yeah, the Reds are bad. I get it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen real quick, guys, and we're going to go through some of these winners here. Let me pull it up. Here it is. So Uprocks posted these San Francisco Spirits competition. All the gold winning straight bourbon, all the double gold winning straight bourbons from this year's San Francisco World Spirits competition. So you see some of them listed there. So the guy that wrote this, Zach Johnston, is actually one of the judges, he says in the article. Today, Uprocks is listing all the double gold straight bourbon winners from San Francisco World Spirits competition. These aren't the very top, but they are accessible, very drinkable bourbons that the judges enjoyed. Look at it this way. A medal means the bottle stood out in some way. A double gold means it wowed. I speak from experience, as I was literally a judge in this competition. So my advice, scroll through, and if a certain description sounds particularly good to you, give it a shot. For the most part, these are all pretty accessible and affordable. We'll get to the small batch, single barrel special finishes and best in show a little later. So those haven't been announced yet, but here we go. First, let me go to the shopping at Tiffany, I see. I don't know where these ads come from, man. Shit. Let's see. Don't look a day over 35, my man. Oh, that's good. Ain't nothing but a number. Yep. Oh, thank you so much, Joe. Statistically. 420 in the chat. Thank you so much, guys. Wade Ward enjoying the Peerless Strawberry Grooves. Yeah, baby. All right. Here we go. This bourbon just released on Sealbox, coincidentally. I think like yesterday, the day before. 15-year. It's a bit of an outlier. The whiskey is a blend of old barrels of bourbon from Bartstown, Kentucky. 14 years in the barrel before proofing and bottling. So obviously this is sourced. I would guess probably from Barton. but that was a standout winner. And that, yeah, I think it goes for about 250, 260 bucks. It's a pricey bottle. 1792 bottled in bond. I do love that bottle. I very rarely see it, at least in my area. So 1792 bottled in bond gets a double gold. 1792 full proof also got themselves a double gold. These are really hit and miss for me. These could drink really hot, and some of them can be really, really good, especially some of the single barrel picks. Scott and I are actually trying to get a 1792 for our club. But yeah, no age statement. It's usually pretty high proof. Some of them can drink hot, but some of them can be absolute flavor bombs. Next up, this is an impossible bottle. A. Smith Bowman Cask Strength 10-year-old straight bourbon. This bottle was a hazmat, distillery only, lottery release. It was pretty much a ghost for most people. I don't think he would quantify this as accessible. This was one of the most inaccessible bottles out there. But I do like the fact that it got double gold. I mean, this was a pretty delicious whiskey. I was sent a sample from a viewer, and it was pretty damn good. But yeah, it definitely drank a little bit hot. But once you got past that, a couple drops of water did this a body good. Horse Soldier Premium Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This one I'm happy because this is an Ohio distillery, and this holds a special place in my heart. 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley. Minimum of 6 years before batching, proofing, and bottling. They were doing some sourcing, but I think they're planning on releasing all their own stuff, which is being distilled right here in Columbus, Ohio, at Middle West Spirits. So great story from Horse Soldier. Absolutely love those guys. One I have not heard of, Abonac Post Oak. This is a Texas bourbon. Besides being produced in Houston, there's not a whole lot known about the provenance of this one. Anybody in the chat have ever had this or seen this? Anybody? I'm talking to all you Texas folks. Anybody have seen this or tasted it? Let us know in the chat. Backbone Bourbon, Decade Down. This is their anniversary edition, 2021 uncut. Some of those backbones can be pretty damn delicious. So let me see some of the reaction here we're getting so far. 140. Okay, let's see here. Ohio for the world, Horse Soldier, absolutely. 1792 Mash and Journey pick, maybe. Yes, please. Let's see. I'm in Texas and never seen it. Never seen or heard of it. From Texas, and no one's ever seen it. So I don't. Robotics says, F that, Jason. Put together a whiskey tube consensus. I believe a majority-driven award from you, Journey, Junkies, ADHD, Tornado, Albion, Curat, over the spit before you drink judges. Yeah, I mean, I think we try to do that when it comes to the end of the year awards, and usually we line up pretty well, I think, most of the time. Obviously, a lot of the different channels get different bottles throughout the year, so you never really know. It's kind of tough to, like, I think, the Junkies had it was either Old Forester birthday bourbon. I think it was their number one last year. I got to taste it, but didn't have a full bottle. It's a really hard bottle to get sometimes. I had Four Roses, the 2021 is my favorite bourbon of the year, right next to Russell. Russell's 13 was pretty high for most people. So, yeah, I think if we could ever figure out how to do a collective awards from all the whiskey tours, that'd be pretty epic. I think I have an idea. I'm going to keep that to myself and work on that. But I have an idea. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Let's go back to the list here, because now things start getting a little interesting. Bartstown Fusion Series. So this is the Bartstown. This is the one where they take they take an older bourbon, they mix it with some of their younger stuff, and it usually works to be a pretty delicious blend. I think Fusion Series gets overlooked a little bit because of the Discovery Series and all the old whiskeys that are in that. But this is half the price of the Discovery Series. You get some old whiskey in it. You get some of the actual Bartstown Bourbon Company release whiskey in that as well. And it's a pretty good release. They do vary from batch to batch, obviously, because they are sourcing and using different blends, but they could be really good. They're sneaky, but I don't really feel like a lot of people talk about them because they're focused on the Discovery Series. and all the unique finishes that that they do. So next up, speaking of Discovery Series 6. So 6 was the one that was the complete apple bomb, apple, cinnamon, cherry, kind of a big fruit forward, you know, whiskey experience on that one. This one made my my top 10 last year. Really good release. I was happy about that one. Here we go. Benchmark Bonded. So I'll say this: when I tried all the benchmarks, the bonded and the single barrel were my favorites. The full proof I needed some time to warm up to because it did drink hot, but that the bonded and the single barrel were my favorite of the bunch. Now to give it a double gold, I mean I don't know. You know they're all 100 proof, but I mean the right palate tastes that I could see that. Um, let's see. Yeah, see what the Scotch folks did for the year Tubers Awards. Oh yes, yeah, that was actually Aquavite I think ran that a little bit. Yep. Fusion 7's fantastic. Can't wait to see that bottle. Yeah, Discovery 7 is delicious. Cigar Boss, totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Yep. And it just keeps getting better. Jeffrey Wack, if you're watching, I know you weren't too crazy about Discovery 7. I'm wondering if you warmed up to it quite yet, because I think the corn whiskey was getting to you a little bit. So let me know what you think about it. So yeah, Benchmark, Sazerac product. But you know, you go to the right state and these kind of sit around. I see a ton of these in Indiana whenever I'm there visiting my cousin. So, and for $20, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's a damn good value. Bespoken Spirits, straight bourbon and whiskey. I have never heard of them or never seen this bottle at all. It's a Northern California distillery. They make craft spirits. This is distilled at MGP and aged for 2 years before being finished and blended in California. So we see a lot of that in the source world as well. Doesn't seem like anything that would stand out, but you never know if it's good MGP. Could be a decent whiskey. Blue Note Juke Joint. All about this. This is distilled by Green River Distilling. Their cask strength, their regular Blue Note Juke Joint, just delicious stuff. It's a great whiskey for $30. Highly recommend Blue Note Juke Joint if you guys have not had it yet. Also with Blue Note, the Crossroads. Now, surprisingly, I wasn't too crazy about this release, the Blue Note Crossroads. And I feel like I would have loved it because it's a French oak. It's a toasted French oak finish on this one. I don't know. It was just a little bit light and a little bit drying on the palate for me. Didn't really, I might try it again. I have it right over there. I might give it another go real quick. Boulder Spirits, Bottled and Bond Bourbon. This is a Colorado, which is kind of an outlier. Mash bill made of 51 corn, really high percentage of malted barley, only 5% rye. So I'm guessing this drank really easy and light, or I should say smooth for everybody out there. This whiskey ages for 4 years before blending, proofing, and bottling in the Rocky Mountains. Okay. Almost hazy IPA vibe in the tasting notes. Yeah, that I would not like. Chestnut Farms, Bottled and Bond, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So this is the Bottled and Bond version from the folks that bring us Calumet. So Chestnut Farms is their bourbon whiskey. It's distilled by Sazerac for Clear Spring Distilling Company at Barton. It's basically the same spirit that goes into brands like Trader Joe's, Kirkland Signature Bourbon. But okay. I thought that had to do with, I guess it's not Chestnut Farms. Okay. Oh, I'm confusing it with another brand. Sorry, guys. So yes, this is just more Barton stuff. But they're asking $100 for this one when the stuff at Kirkland was way cheaper. So that's a big no to me on that one, just on price alone. Clyde Mays Special Reserve. That one, some of the Clyde Mays can be really good. It's sourced from an undisclosed distillery in Indiana. I'm sure it's MGP. It's aged for about 3 years and proof to tad before bottling. Regular Four Roses straight bourbon got a double gold. I mean, can you guys see me in my little window? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good point. San Francisco Spirit Con always seems to give awards to bottles that need to move at Total Wine. I've heard that before. But Four Roses, the regular 80 proof gets a double gold. That to me is surprising. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about that one. But there's one on this list that might even surprise you even more that got a double gold. We'll get to it. Well, IW Harper 15 got themselves a double gold. I don't like IW Harper 15. Pretty bottle. I do not like the whiskey inside that bottle, but that's me. I mean, it's okay, but I only at 86 proof. I can't for 15 years. Doesn't do it for me. Yes, that's right. Jim Beam White Label gets a double gold. I okay. How could the Jim Beam White Label wow someone so much to garner a double gold? This is where it gets a little hazy for me. I think in the beginning of the list we had some winners that I could see people really liking, but Four Roses Yellow Label or Tan Label now, whatever you want to call it, and Jim Beam White Label double gold. I don't see how that happens. I really don't. Yeah, and San Francisco fell off. It's rigged. What the fuck? This list is turning into a participation trophy. Yeah, totally. I don't get it. I don't know how that happened. Jim Beam Black, extra aged, double gold. Okay. There are some people that think very highly of the black. I actually have a couple of I have an episode of a double bass coming out soon, maybe a triple bass with that black in the mix to see how good it really is. So stay tuned for that one. But again, a $20 whiskey at 43% ABV that gets double gold. Okay. Kentucky Owl Wise Man Bourbon getting double gold. I do not agree with this at all. But I have talked to people. This seems to be a love it or hate it bourbon. People love this bourbon. Some people hate it. I think it just depends on the person. Here we go. Kirkland Bottle and Bond. The same shit they said as the Chestnut Farms, but the Chestnut Farms one is $100. This is $25. So I would definitely get in for that. These, from what I heard, were pretty damn good. I mean, just good sourced Barton whiskey for $25. I mean, why not? Old Fitz, 17-year. Now we're talking double gold, high age, good proof point. All right, we're getting a little bit back on track here. Old Forester Signature 100. I can see this fooling some folks and getting a high mark. I don't know if, let's see if did any other, no other Old Foresters got double gold. So 1920 didn't get anything. That's kind of surprising. Okay. Old Scout Bourbon, Smooth Ambler. I could see that in some cases. Rebel 100. Okay. Smoke Wagon, Uncut, Unfiltered. I could definitely see them getting a double gold if it's the right blend. Totally can agree with that. The Depot John C. Fremont Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I don't even know what the hell to think of that. I don't know what the fuck that is. The Nevada whiskey is made with local sustainable grains. The whiskey is then aged in small 10-gallon barrels under the hot Nevada sun for 4 years. Okay. Sublime whiskey, notes of vanilla oak, honey, and a touch of cinnamon spice. Okay. Southern, how the fuck this got a double gold? I will not ever understand. This stuff I've had, and it's just really weird. Maybe this stuff has gotten better. I haven't had it in a long time. It's obviously a throwback look to the birthday bourbon bottle a little bit. It looks a little bit like my Sam Adams bottle, too. Just saying. William LaRue Weller gets a double gold. Okay, I could definitely see that. I'm surprised that didn't get platinum, but it got a double gold. Or do they go up to platinum in San Francisco? I can't remember. Wolcott, Can't see. I've seen that one. It's another label under Sazerac. And I think that's it. So that's the list. Just trying to get some of the went all out on the Fremont label. Jim Beam White Label just entered chat doing the Conor McGregor strut, right? Just kind of walking around. Like, I mean, just crazy. How many golds they prep? Yeah, it's crazy. Oprah must have been judging. You get a gold. You get a gold. Participation, double golds. Double gold must be the bottom tier rewards. Maybe there's a platinum or a diamond medal. It's crazy, man. Yeah, why have the fact that they could put Jim Beam White Label on the same level as a William LaRue Weller for a double gold boggles my mind. It just like makes me think that there's something screwy going on. This is why a lot of people think the San Francisco Spirit Awards and other awards are rigged, because you get results like this. Being a whiskey enthusiast, I can't in my right mind think how you would put Four Roses beige label, the old yellow label, Jim Beam White Label on the same level as an Old Fit 17 or William LaRue Weller. Now, if it's split up into like low proof categories, high age categories, I mean, maybe, but I feel like they're just throwing out double golds, like you said, like it's like Oprah's there. You get a double gold. You get a double gold. I haven't seen the Best in Show winners yet, but if you guys are interested in it, stay tuned. I'm sure all that will be released very, very soon. I also think they did release some of the Scotch winners, so I have yet to read that article to see who won. But yeah, just some crazy, crazy shit. I just wanted to go through that and the first impressions of what those winners were. So we'll see if some other favorites come out and get Best in Show and who won some of those other ones. So just got here. Looks like some insulting awards. Where's Will Smith when you need him? Somebody got slapped. Headed to my liquor store to stock up on white label beams. Yep. The San Francisco Spirits is judged by Russian judges that awarded 10 at the Olympics. Yeah, I think that's part of it too. And it's funny too, because when at the end of the year when we get the Whiskey Advocate Awards, there's a Dickel winner every year in that. And if you read Whiskey Advocate, there are a lot of ads in Whiskey Advocate. And usually a lot of the winners, the top winners from Whiskey Advocate, are folks that have paid them in ad revenue throughout the year. So there is a correlation there, I think. The San Francisco Spirit Awards is just so, you just don't know what to expect every year. It's so weird. I can't even wrap my head around it sometimes. So, all right. To a bottle that did not win a double gold. Maybe it won Best in Show. Maybe it won Best in Show. We don't know. Early Times. All right. So let's go to the old one here, and then we'll test it with the new one. Here we go. Early Times, man. Bottled and Bond. So this was from the Early Times, Old Forester. A little bit of that cherry, that like medicinal cherry note that it has, almost like cherry cola. Little cinnamon. A lot of vanilla sweetness here. This bottle is always in the running for like my top bottles, like top value bottles of the year. If it's not in the top 3, it's definitely in the top 5 every single year. I do that blind tasting. Okay, chat. Post one. What would you give a double gold to? Jason, you and a few other whiskey tubers are my go-tos for info. Thanks for your hard work. I appreciate that, Travis. Stick with Fred McKinnock. Early Times over Jim Beam White Label. Yeah, totally. E.H. Taylor Warehouse C. Yeah, watch that bullshit when Best in Show. Some bullshit like that. Which is basically fucking Eagle Rare in a yellow tube. Fucking Buffalo Trace just... They're so good at marketing. They really are. They make good whiskey, though. I know I give Buffalo Trace a lot of shit, but they make great whiskey. I can't fault them for that. And a lot of people love that shit. But some of those special releases just seem like straight out marketing ploys. All right, yeah, this is as good as I remember early times being. Let's nose the new version here, see if we find any differences here. This is coming off a little bit more sugary sweet and not as cherry as I'm getting in the old one. Again, it's a fresh pour though, so I don't know if the cherry will start to come out, but yeah, it's funny because like this being owned by Sazerac to me has that little bit more of a sugary sweet profile, which I think everybody loves. Um, my double goals are going to Russell's 13 and America Bourbon, according to SFWAS SA. Double gold, any Mash and Journey pick. Thank you, Wade Ward. I think if Scott and I were able to throw some of our picks in the mix, I think we would get some awards. Yeah, there's some definite differences here. Um, not super different. It's very minute. There's really, I think the early times comes in a little bit sweeter, a little bit more vanilla forward. Where the old one, I'm getting that cherry that I love so much in the early times, like I said, like that cherry cola note, a little bit. Ugh. All right, let's try the old one first. Oh God, it's so good. How does this not get a double gold? Come on. Dustin Macklin just went to Bartstown last week. They're selling the old stock of Brown-Forman early times alongside the new distillate. 5-bottle limit, got all old Brown-Forman. Dude, that's kind of cool that Barton's doing that. I like it. Heaven Hill Heritage 17 was insane. Yeah, that's a really good bottle. Yeah, I wish I had found one of those for myself. I was lucky enough that a viewer sent me that bottle to review. As I said in the review, man, it's freaking good. It is so good. I think it could be a little bit oaky for some folks, but it's so good. Where does very old Barton hit on your budget bourbon bottles? It usually doesn't do too well, honestly, compared to some others in its price category. I don't know why. I just think it could sometimes come off a little bit hot. I do like the 100 proof very old Barton, if that's the one you're talking about. That's probably the best bang for your buck in that one. Hey, Jason, have you had the opportunity to taste the Balcones Tres Hombres? The Sagamigos made me think of it. I have not tried. Unfortunately, here in Ohio, we don't get a lot of Balcones. We just basically get the American single malt, or I should say the Texas single malt, and that's really it. I have to go out of state to get anything unique from Balcones. But luckily, I have some good friends in Texas. I got the Maltzilla. That was one of my favorites. Anytime the Froke releases, the French Oak, that's one of my favorite bottles. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Still no early times Balm. Yeah, I mean, people are hoping that with Sazerac kind of taking over early times, we'll see the more states. I don't think that's happened yet. So let's try the new one now. You know what I got in that one that I'm not getting in that one? I'll give you guys one guess in the chat. A flavor note from Barton that you would expect from Old Forester, but you don't get it, but it's in Barton. What do you guys think? What's that note that I'm getting in this one that I'm not getting in that one? Yeah, it's going to take you guys 2 seconds to think what that note is. Yep, Adam Shelton, banana. I am getting banana on the new early times, and I'm not happy about it. I don't mind the banana, but that I am not used to banana. Yeah, banana. No, not butter pecan. I wish it was butter pecan, but it's banana. There is banana in the newer early times. And that is a Barton trait. Second sip, not so much. Yeah. The old one. The old one. It's just darker, richer. Oh, man. I'm glad I have a bunch of these left because I mean, this is good. It's still a great bourbon for the money, but now I'm curious to put this now in my top budget battle that I usually do towards the end of the end of the year every year. Bourbons, I think I usually do. It's like $40 and under or $30 and under, whatever it may be, and to see how the new one would do in that mix. Because on the palate here, it's lighter. I shit you not. I'm getting a little banana funk on it. Oh, you go from one to the other. It's not even close for me. The old one. The old one. Oh, I'm glad I have some more of these still left because this is the bee's knees right here, guys. This is the one you want. If you have any of the old early, you have to look on the bottle, though. You want the shorter bottle with DSP 354 and 414, the old early time distillery numbers on the back. If you see those, stock up because once these go away, they're going to transition to this. And I don't know. We'll see how these get, if they get a little bit better, but I'm missing these. This one for me, I even think the color is a little bit darker too. It could be the bottle though, but I feel like it is a slightly darker in the light. Shit. Old one wins. Anybody in the chat do this comparison yet and find the same thing? Or am I crazy? Is it my mind playing tricks on me? If I did it blind, would I really be able to tell? I feel like I would, but I don't know. You guys know I'm not great at blinds these days. As I stunk it up in the freaking Matt's contest, man. Fucking sucked. I'm still not over that. All right. We're going to try two more quickly. The Jefferson's Ocean. This is a double barrel rye. Same issue with Old Forester 1920, new label versus old label, totally different bourbon. Well, yes, you are knucking futz, but you are correct. All right, so I grabbed this because I don't think I've seen a Jefferson's double barrel rye yet. So this is a rye whiskey aged first in number 3 char barrels and then double barrel in a split between char number 3 and toasted barrels. So you have kind of a toasted rye whiskey situation going on with Jefferson's Ocean. Now, the one thing I usually worry about with Jefferson's Ocean is the proof point. This is 96 proof, so it's a decent proof point. You know, you got the story and all that shit on the ship. If that's a selling point for you, more power to you. But that really doesn't do it for me. It's all about the whiskey. I don't care where this traveled. If it was on the fucking Love Boat, I don't care. Oh, you didn't say America. Sorry, ADHD. America. Let's get it back. Jefferson's equals cool story, bro. Best rye has to be Dickel. Where did that go? From Cigar Boss. Best rye has to be Dickel over Leopold collab. We need more of this. I agree. I think distilleries should be doing more collabs like that. But that Leopold rye tends to take over the blend. That Leopold rye is so unique and floral. I think it takes over whatever whiskey it's blended with. And I think that happened in that whiskey. Now, if you love that flavor profile, more power to you. But I don't mind it. I like that flavor profile, but some people hated that Leopold. It is very different. It's like drinking lavender like perfume, honestly. But all right, so let's go into this one here. Speedboat for the finish. I mean, what's next? I feel like we're going to strap some barrels in a roller coaster and fucking send them around, round and round, and let them age in that. Send around the Great American Screen Machine, a great adventure in New Jersey, about 100 times, and then bottle it. You never know. Wow, this is so minty. So minty. I'm waiting till I get like the toasted barrel notes. This is like a mojito in a glass here. Real quick, guys. So tonight, giving away 7 bottles of whiskey. We have a Weller Antique 107, a High West Mash and Journey Grape Ape. This is our American Prairie Bourbon finished in brandy barrels. A Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye. And a Mash and Journey the 3 Sagamigos. This is a 7-year-old rye whiskey selection that we did. Absolutely stellar stuff. On top of that, Darrell Stewart in the chat is going to be giving away a 1-liter bottle, the big dog, 1-liter bottle of Weller Special Reserve. So that's one of the big dogs, Weller Special Reserve. 1792 12-year and a 1792 sweet wheat. So those are all in the mix tonight. All you got to do is throw a super chat. If you haven't yet, throw a super chat in the chat to get your hands on one of those 7 bottles, if you lucky. So let's try this one now. I'm not getting a lot of the toasted notes here. So we'll see. Why, Jeffersons? Why you do this to me? Why you do this to me? It's hideous. Double oak my ass. Oh my God. This is mint, fake, like black licorice, like anisette or sambuca. Oh my God. I don't even know if I can take another sip of this. You know what? It doesn't start off bad. It does start off with some sweetness to it. Give me whiskey. Wait, hi, I love the channel. Have you tried the Saints Alley Harbinger again? I've tried the sample again, yes. Send me the whiskey, says Adam Houston. If they made that, great stream this evening, Jason. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aaron Williams. Jefferson's George, not Thomas. Jefferson sucks. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, Sambuca. I can't get the Sambuca note out of my... The Jefferson stuff has never been my favorite. Bought the standard, very old stuff, and it just tasted off. There's just something, there's something off to me about this one. I can't. One last sip of this one. Yeah, it's like you say toasted, but what? I'm not getting any of no like toasted marshmallow notes, no like graham cracker. It's all mint and licorice. It tastes like someone made a mint julep with Sambuca instead of bourbon. Oh my God. I spent like $80 on this bottle because it sounded like something maybe I would like and it's interesting. Never again, Jeffersons. I can't do it. This is going, I don't even know what this is going right to the mixing bowl. Right to the mixing bowl. That's not going anywhere near my shit. Oh my God. I'm I don't mean to be disrespectful to Jefferson. I never want to be disrespectful to a distillery. You know, obviously it's hard work to make whiskey, but I'm very sensitive to black licorice. I hate it. And the fact that that has so much of it really turns me off on it. But if any of you guys like black licorice, if that's your vibe, if that's your thing, then that Jefferson's Double Oaked, you will really like that because it's all over it. It's all up and through it. It's all around it, wrapped up in fucking black licorice. All right. I need some fucking water, stat. Let's see. Jason, did you like the Bourbon Ocean Aged in Rum? That one wasn't bad. I dug that one. I still didn't like the price of it, but it wasn't bad. Got to play to win. Do distilleries really send in their cheapest stuff to big competitions? It looks like they do. I was lucky enough to be a judge at a competition this year. And yeah, there was a whole mix of stuff. So for sure. Master Journey, you need to send a sample to Audriana. She loves toasted rice. If she doesn't like, I mean, that one is, she'll really hate that one. Oh my God. Insert hilariously funny and heartfelt message here. Thank you, Rebecca. Are you going to the BJ's meetup? If so, see you there. Maybe challenge you on Arcade Street Fighter whilst we sip on some bourbon. I will be there. I will be at the Bourbon Junkies meetup. Yep, in August. So yeah, looking forward to meeting you, man. And yeah, if there's an Arcade Street Fighter anywhere, it's on. All right. So Jack Daniel's Sinatra Select. Everybody, come on. Start snapping your fingers. Do. Look at the size of this fucking bottle. Jesus Christmas. Do. Shooby dooby. There it is. Let's put this up here. Oh, very pretty bottle, I will say. It's huge, man. You're looking at a big old 1 liter bottle here. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea, lingered there, curled my nose hair. America. Ooh, nice heavy cork on this one too. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, my grandfather, my grandmother all drank Anisette, Sambuca, and every time they poured it, I hated it. I just couldn't even take the smell. Yeah, Sam Houston is really good. The Calumet is actually, speaking of Calumet, we mentioned them before. They're coming out with their 16-year bourbon is starting to drop around. So if you guys like the Calumet 14, 15-year from last year, the 16 is starting to drop. So keep an eye out for that. All right, just a little bit of that. So Sinatra Select. So a little bit of history on this. Let's nerd out. Why is there a bottle dedicated to Frank Sinatra? Well, back in the day, Jackie Gleason, star of the Honeymooners, and probably, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you guys. I might have. I do talk about my family a lot, but I had a Uncle Joey, and he had Down syndrome, and he was kind of basically my brother growing up. He really didn't feel like an uncle to me. Because he was Down syndrome kids are like big kids. And they're as honest as it comes. I love Joey so much that I miss him every day. He passed away, I think, when I was, I think about 17, 18 years old. He passed away, and I do miss him every day. But yeah, I loved him so much. And he watched the Honeymooners all the time. And Jackie Gleason, who was the star of the Honeymooners, was on that show, obviously. And he was friends with Frank Sinatra. So I'm not sure what year it was, but Jackie Gleason introduced Frank Sinatra to Jack Daniels. I think they were at a bar one day, and Jackie Gleason ordered us some Jack Daniels. And he said, "This is real great American whiskey." Ever since then, Frank Sinatra, once he tried it that night with Jackie Gleason, that was his go-to drink always. Sinatra had a very distinctive way of drinking his Jack Daniels. One, it was, well, Sinatra always did a pre-performance nap before every concert. He always took a nap before he went live. Um, and he also always drank Jack Daniels. Now, what was interesting is that every bottle he drank with Jack Daniels had to be a fresh crack. So it was always a new bottle. It could never be a used bottle. So every time his Jack Daniels was open, it was a fresh cracked, fresh bottle to drink before his concerts. He always took it in a glass with a specific type cut of ice. I forgot what the cut was, but he used some specific ice for his Jack Daniels. And then when he passed away, apparently he was buried with a bottle of Jack Daniels in his casket. So big connection between Sinatra and Frank Sinatra, between Frank Sinatra and Jack Daniels. They're in lieu of the special edition bottle. Now, this is a special blend of different ages of Jack Daniels that they made specifically for Frank Sinatra to commemorate him and his love for Jack Daniels. So I saved the mash and drum Glen for this. So let's yeah, there you go. 3 ice cubes, 2 finger pour. Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, Joey was awesome. He loved bowling. He was an absolute nut when it came to WWF at the time, WWF wrestling. He recorded every single like crazy interview with the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, and he would be on the front lawn and reenact them. And the whole we would all watch him like do the Hulk Hogan impression, and oh my God, he was so entertaining, crazy strong. I mean, he would lift me over his head and just like body slam me, just like thinking, I was wrestling him. It was hilarious. He beat the shit out of me a few times. So, yeah, I miss him a lot. So here we go. Let's see what the Sinatra is like on the nose here. So this actually reminds me a little bit of the, I don't have it here. What's over there? Not the Jack Daniels bonded, but the Jack Daniels single barrel, not the barrel proof, but just the regular single barrel where it comes off a little bit, um, not like that fake trail mix banana, but a little bit more of like a Bananas Foster. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot. This is 90 proof on this bottle, guys. 90 proof on this one. I mean, I'm guessing they blended this just like the way Sinatra liked it. He obviously didn't like high proof stuff, so they blended it very smooth, easy to drink whiskey, based on what he liked. Yeah, Macho Manus, he was in love with Elizabeth, my Uncle Joey. He loved Elizabeth. George the Animal Steel cracked him up when he used to eat the turnbuckle. Yeah, we had good times, man. I miss him every day. Yeah, a little bit of like cinnamon Bananas Foster, a little bit more oak and caramel than your regular typical old number 7. Cheers to everybody. Cheers to Joey. Cheers to everybody that's missing someone right now. Cheers, guys. Oh, interesting. On the back end of that, very nutty. Honey roasted peanuts on the back of that one. So you get the sweet, you get the banana up front, a little bit of caramel, and then it rounds off with this honey roasted peanut characteristic on the back end of that. It is. It's very easy to drink. It's very smooth. I get it. But yeah, it's got this. I wouldn't say it's a far off profile from regular Jack Daniels. I think it reminds me a little bit more of like I said, the Jack Daniels single barrel selections. It's like somewhere in between the new Jack Daniels bonded and the single barrel. It's like it kind of falls somewhere in there as far as flavor goes. It's not as artificial banana trail mix as the old number 7, but I don't think it's as rich and flavorful as the single barrels are. It's somewhere in between. But yeah, you throw some ice in this, and the best part of this is the honey roasted peanut on the back end. I think that's probably the most unique note I've gotten on a Jack Daniels, and I think that's what makes this stand out a little bit. Is it worth $150? To me, no. Obviously, you're paying more for the whole Sinatra, the lore of it. It is a 1 liter bottle, so you are getting a much bigger amount of this than you would a regular special release, being a 750 milliliter. You get the box. It actually comes with this really well-made storybook inside. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it comes with this little storybook here. And then as you open it up, it kind of gives just a nice story of Sinatra, a little bit of background on him and all that fun, you know, the way he liked to drink it, the connection with Jack Daniels, his special blend. Pretty interesting. So yeah, that would probably be my one of the little details I do like on the bottle is right up on top there, that right on the neck of the bottle, there is a little icon with a little hat, which is a hat that Sinatra used to wear. So, little gentleman's hat. I think that's pretty cool. So, if you're a Sinatra fan, I think you'd enjoy it to have it in your collection. But if you're a whiskey enthusiast just looking to drink it, I think there's better Jack Daniels out there. I would probably even take the new Bonded over that, honestly. But it's a solid whiskey. The best part of it, like I said, is that honey roasted peanut finish. All right, I'm gonna wrap that back up. There we go. Flyers are up 4-1 on the Oilers. You pay a lot for the pretty box, pretty bottle, and book. Yeah, basically. Store by me has Jack 10-year for $400. Jesus Christmas. You know, I forgot that bottle even came out, that 10-year. It just kind of like left. It was like out for a hot minute. It got so flipped on secondary so fast. And then the prices in the stores, unfortunately, followed suit for that Jack Daniels 10-year. And it was an okay release. It was good, the 10-year, but I'd rather drink that triple mash. That triple mash, by the way, right before we went live, I dropped my review for the Bonded and triple mash because I couldn't do it earlier today. I was swamped at work, couldn't get it out on time. I got home and then dropped the review. So if you guys, after you're done here and before you go over to Women of Whiskeys, or even after Women of Whiskeys following this show, check out my full review on the Jack Daniels Bonded and triple mash. I actually compare the Jack Daniels Bonded to the single barrel and the old number 7 to get some context of how the flavor profile falls. So, all right, with that, I'm gonna put this one aside. I'm gonna go back to my old McBrayer blend, and I'm gonna sip on this, and we're gonna give away some bottles. So, right on time. It's 10:54. Sweet wheat or 3 amigos, please, says little BB Jesus. All right, so whoever was keeping track, so if it's Adriana or Marty Party, whoever has the numbers, let me know, because we're about to give away some stuff before we head over to Women of Whiskeys tonight. I kind of barriered myself in here. Let me get my pen. Okay. I got to write down the winners' names here. Okay. Love the triple mash. Any tips to get the palate you have? Your sense for smell and taste is nuts. Keep up the great work. Honestly, it's just, it might sound stupid, but familiarizing yourself with everything you eat is what helps me. Smelling what you eat, spices, different flavors, different tastes. Try to make that connect in your brain, because the more stuff that you eat, the more stuff you taste, the more stuff you smell, it'll connect with different whiskeys. And that's what I think calls me back to different notes and whiskeys. It's all food. I mean, if you watch my reviews, it's all food and spices and everything that I've, experienced over the years. 1,210 people? Holy shit. Rishi Atwarmana, Awa Tramani. Hope I didn't butcher that. Long time viewer, first time chatter. Thanks. Crossing fingers for one of these 7 bottles. Okay. Tie Stick 78. This is the last. Tie Stick 78 is the last super chat. That's it. So if you want to add those in real quick, Audriana, that's the last one. All right. Gobble goo, gobble go. Here we go. So Audriana, give me the, yeah, close off now. 12:15. Okay, that's it. We're done. Let's cut them off here. So, all right. So first bottle we're going to give away. Let's give away one of Darrell Stewart's. We're going to give away that 1 liter Weller Special Reserve. Weller Special Reserve. Okay. So a number between 12, okay, 1220. 1220. Okay. So a number between 1 and 1220. Here we go. Let's do this. Hey, Google, give me a number between 1 and 1220. The number is
a random number, 742.
742. 742 is the number. Audriana, who do we got? Oh, she did multiple. Oh, yeah, she did multiple entries for. Okay. Let's see. What do we got, Audriana? 1 entry per $1 this time. Okay, so that's why. So you got multiple entries if you were if you did some more super chat money in there. So it's not 1,200 people, but 1,200 entries. All right, Whiskey Mountains. What do we got? 742. Who is the winner? Thrasher. Thrasher wins the 1 liter Weller Special Reserve. Congrats to Thrasher. By the way, I think I have it up here. Do I have it up here? Is that it? No. I don't have my email graphic up here. Where did that go? All right. Yeah, I don't have it up here. If you guys want to connect with me, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com. You guys can throw that in the chat. So all the winners just email me there and we'll get you your bottles. Okay. I'm just going to pick another number here randomly. We're going to give away the 1792 Sweet Wheat next. 1792 Sweet Wheat. And for that, I'm going to pick number 180. 180 is the next number. What do we got? Audriana. Who's got 180? Congrats to Thrasher. Oh, I'm going to put this back on the bottle here. Whoops. Let's see. There you go. Thanks, ADHD. Appreciate that, man. Audriana looking through the congrats. Mike Franklin. Nice. Mike Franklin. Congrats, man. Mike Franklin. He gets the 1792 Sweet Wheat from Darrell Stewart. Congrats, buddy. You can email me or message me. You know where to find me, Mike Franklin. All right, next up, we're going to go with the 1792 12-year. That's a delicious bottle. For that one, let's pick, we'll go random again. Pick a number between 1 and 1220. Here it comes. Oh, 133. Okay, 133. Who do we got? Who's winning the 1792 12-year? This is awesome. So next week, guys, I'm gonna have some special guests. I'm thinking I might do a bourbon draft, but a baseball bourbon draft. So I'm thinking of doing that next week. We'll have Trev on, maybe a few other channels that want to get involved. We'll see if we can work that out. Doing the drafts are pretty fun. So congrats to Ian Knapp. Ian Knapp, you win the 12-year. Congratulations. Ian Knapp is the winner. Ian Knapp, again, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com for your bottle. Next up, we're going to give away the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye right here. This one right here. Let me hide that current comment. All right, so this is for the Rare Breed Rye. Let's go a little bit higher in the number count here. Let's go with 856. 856 is the number. Adriana, who do we got for 856? 4 more bottles left to give away before we call it a night, guys. Kyle, yes, I hated it. I did not like it. It tastes like mint and licorice, which is not my thing, Kyle. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time, Adam, for sure. Let's see here. We got, I'd say, disclose beforehand what each super chat gets. Well, I mean, it's basically you just get more entries. So, what does that say? Congrats, Andrew. I want to say Andrew Storm, but it's Andrew Sturm. Andrew Sturm, congratulations. Andrew Sturm with the big win for the Rare Breed Rye. Congrats, man. Again, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com to claim your bottle. Next up, let's do the Weller Antique. So this is for the Weller Antique 107. I'm gonna let's go random again on this one, guys. Here we go. Pick a number between 1 and 1220. See what comes up. Oh, it went low. 15. Going low. Okay. The low number for Weller 107. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? OWA is my fave. I love the Weller since it's like $18,000 in New York, says Phil C. Yes, Jason Coates, brilliant idea. Everybody will get a complimentary sample of that Jefferson's Ocean Double Oaked Rye. I think you'll love it. Congrats, Matt Churches. Matt, that's a new name I haven't seen yet. Matt Churches wins the Weller 107. Congrats. Matt Churches, again, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com to claim your bottle. All right, now we're going to got 2 more bottles left, which is the 2 Mash and Journey picks. First, let's go with the High West Grape Ape. This is our very well-loved High West Mash and Journey pick, finished in brandy barrels, coming in at only 102 proof, I think, but it drinks a lot spicier and very sweet. We call it the Grape Ape. It's got like the sweet and spiciness vibe going on. I'm going to go back up to the mid. Let's go into 562. 562. This is for the High West Grape Ape. Excuse me. High West. High West. Aaron Williams, that bottle is great and so crushable. Yep. Can I super chat not to get a sample of Jefferson's Ocean? No, you get it all. Oh, OH is drinking it right now. I tried gaming for the win. Congratulations. I tried gaming. Gets the win. Do I have to say it again? Shoot me a message at themashanddrum@gmail.com to claim your prize. All right. Adriana, hold on to that list, because if we get some unclaimed bottles, we'll pick another name and we'll let them know who won. So just hold on to that list. Don't get rid of it quite yet. And lastly, probably the star of the show tonight right here, the age 7-year, the 3 Sagamigos Mash and Journey Cask Strength Rye Whiskey. Just fucking delicious. Whoever wins this, you're going to be happy. It tastes way better than the Jeffersons, I'll tell you that. Shit. Okay, Sagamore. Here we go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go high on this one. I'm gonna go in the 9. So I'll do my birthday date 9, my birthday month 7, 9 7. I'll do 977. Let's do 977. I was born 1977, July 9th. So I'll do July 9th. So 977. Who's gonna win the 3 Sagamigos? Who do we got? That'll look nice next to my. Yeah, it's a pretty bottle. And there's the 3 Sagamigos. There's me, Dusty, and and Scott. It's a cool label on the back, kind of a dedication to Maryland as well. So it's a cool label. It also says, "Where there is Sagamore rye, you will find us." Congrats, Eli Cook. Eli Cook, congrats, man. He gets the 3 Sagamigos. We have all of our winners tonight, guys. Again, email me at themashanddrum@gmail.com to claim your prize. If they are not claimed, I will pick another name with Adriana to send the bottle to. What can I say? I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for listening to me talk for fucking 2 hours. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Go check out Women of Whiskeys after this. And then after that, go watch my Jack Daniels Triple Mash and Bonded review. I have a cool video coming out actually Friday as well. Congrats to all the winners again. Thanks to all the support, all the love, everybody chiming in tonight. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers. And I'll see you next week right here. Whiskey baseball draft. Mash and Drum. Take care, everybody. Cheers.